Hello, welcome to Business Live Holiday Edition. Coming up tonight, concerns that government may not be able to meet its target of 4.5 billion cedis by end of year as E-Levy implementation faces challenges at early stages. We hear from economist Dr. Patrick Isuming.
A report, end of day report for yesterday, all those below 100 Ghana and below transaction off net that were not supposed to attract the levy that got attracted. That one, the customer needs not do any intervention.
Meanwhile, GRA says it will refund all wrongful deductions occasioned by technical hitches on first day of E-Levy implementation. Also coming up, prices of petroleum products expected to go up beginning today, with diesel projected to increase by 3% a litre. And fate of Ghana's Tema oil refinery hangs in the hands of potential strategic investors as entity continues to record losses. We'll hear from the Minister for Public Enterprises.
It's also an entity, just like you as an entity. Looking at your assets that is not bringing you the rental income, what will you do? Until you get the money to renovate for it to earn the rent you want, would you leave it?
My name is Daryl Kwawu. Thanks for being with us tonight. Details in a moment. The Ghana Revenue Authority will investigate and refund all wrongful deductions from customers' mobile money wallets during the first day of the implementation of the electronic transaction levy. There were some technical hitches experienced by some customers on the first day of implementation on the various networks. Speaking on the Super Morning Show on Joy FM, Head of Project Unit at the GRA, Isaac Kobna-Mwako, admitted the challenges and assured all customers of a refund after the completion of the probe by his outfit.
The feedback we got from one of the charging entities is that the configuration for off-net for less than 100 Ghana and below were being charged.
Explain off-net.
Off-net means that you are on MTN, but the receiver is on another network like Vodafone or Airtel Tigo or a bank.
Right.
So within MTN, it is off the network. So they call it off-net.
I get it.
In the banking sector, they will call it inter-bank transfer. That means you are moving away from the bank to another entity.
Okay.
So inter-bank transfer. Then within the same telco, they call it on-net, on the same network.
Okay.
And then within the bank, intra-bank transfer.
Okay.
So the challenge we envisaged yesterday, we encountered yesterday,
It's with off-net transfers.
with off-net transfers.
MTN to Vodafone, or
MTN
Airtel,
to
Tigo, Cash
Yes.
to, and so forth.
Good.
Okay.
And they are in two folds. The first fold is that 100 Ghana and below does not attract E-Levy, whether off-net or on-net, irrespective. It doesn't attract the E-Levy.
Just that
But
at the moment,
at
the
the
telcos can't see it.
not that they can't see it, it's a technical hitch. And as Ellie said, it will be rectified automatically. Once they detect those transactions, they will run the reports, end of day report for yesterday. All those below 100 Ghana and below transaction off net that were not supposed to attract the levy that got attracted. That one, the customer needs not do any intervention.
Right.
The transaction.
So Francis doesn't need to make a phone call.
No.
His money will come back to his 38 pesos will come back to him.
If there's a condition, if indeed it was his first 100 Ghana, below 100 Ghana transaction he did for the day. Yes.
Okay.
While speaking on the same show, Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Ken Ashby, hinted that helplines will be published for aggrieved customers to seek clarity on the payment of the levy. He, however, pointed out that some of these hitches were expected, but confident they will be resolved soon.
You know, the interesting thing that's also happened is that government, in its quest to ensure that the vulnerable are not overly, taxed, has agreed to a lot of exemption. And all of this also, introduce complexity in the logics that are in the end. Some of that you might find out that some might be, paradoxical and the system might not be able to deal with it. You need to then go back and again and then retweak, the logic that you are dealing with and all of that. So I hopefully, and then another thing we've also done is putting together a team between the regulator GRA, the policymaker, Ministry of Finance, and then the charging entity. So the EMIs are there, the banks are there, the PSPs are there, and there's a lot of knowledge sharing that then helps us to be able to improve the system.
Meanwhile, some industry watchers are worried that the development may affect government's ability to secure the 4.5 billion cedi target by the end of the year. Let's hear from Dr. Patrick Isuming, who is an economist.
I mean, from where I sit, I think the target was optimistic to start with or without these challenges. I think I've always maintained that the government is probably underestimating how much people will react to the tax. So obviously, it would be better if we didn't have these challenges. I think if you hear some of the stories, people saying that, the transactions that are not supposed to be charged are being charged, I think all of these will add to the fear and the desire of people to simply avoid doing mobile transactions. And I think all of this will add to the potential for government not to meet its target. But from where I sit, I think we've already seen that even from the day that the law was passed, we've seen some reactions in terms of mobile money agents telling us that people have been withdrawing sharply. And earlier in the morning, we've also heard that, people have been complaining that even on Sunday when the system kicked in, there's been a few people who've been trying to withdraw in order not to face the tax. So even if they manage to fix these problems on time, I still expect that many people will avoid, having to make transactions that will attract the tax.
But, yeah, go ahead.
So either way, I don't think the 4.5 billion target will be met. I would be very surprised if that was met.
Now, prices of petroleum products are expected to go up beginning today. This is in line with the 2-week review of prices by oil marketing companies. Here's Georgia Afe's report.
Based on what we have picked up from the bulk oil distribution companies, diesel will witness the highest jump in price per litre. It is expected to go up by some 29 pesos. This should mean that if you are working with the current price codes of GOIL, a litre of diesel should be sold at around 10 Ghana cedis, 94 pesos, while petrol, on the other hand, would go up by 4 pesos. This could mean that a litre of petrol may be sold at around 9 Ghana cedis, 39 pesos from next week. The increase, according to the oil marketing companies, can be linked to some developments on the international market that have seen prices of finished petroleum products go up marginally, as well as some supply issues with diesel on the local market. However, some industry watchers are still questioning the current price codes of the oil marketing companies. This is because if you look at other indicators, prices should have witnessed some marginal decline rather from this week. Some of these industry watchers have argued that with crude prices on the international market being fairly stable, as well as the Ghana cedi, this isn't what we should have witnessed on the market.
The fate of the Tema oil refinery, the country's only crude oil refinery, is still uncertain as the search for potential strategic investors to turn things around continues. The entity in 2020 recorded a loss of more than 159 million cedis, according to the state ownership report. Now, speaking to Joy Business on the way forward for the oil refinery, Minister for Public Enterprises, Joseph Kudjo, said discussions are still ongoing with the Energy Ministry to get a potential investor with the kind of investment required for restructuring of the Tema oil refinery.
Tema oil refinery, critical role it plays, yes, can refine our products, and the investment requirement to achieve that, you don't have an idea. So at the moment, I know the Minister of Energy is engaging, receiving proposals from potential strategic investors for restructuring. So we're looking at that window where the strategic investors will bring in the necessary funding, the necessary technologies, and so on, for it to, how do I put it, operate as expected. But that is, at the moment, it is not operating at the level of what we desire. So that restructuring is a plan.
So until then, are we still going to be pushing resources to them?
Listen to this. Imagine yourself having a building. You have a building. I mean, some of these things, because we all have reasonable thinking. When you have a building, dilapidated, sitting there, and people are stealing furniture, stealing the glass louvers, would you put a security man and pay him even though the building is not bringing you rent? Will you do that? If you do that, then use it to measure what is happening at Tema Refinery. That's common sense for me. Are you getting me? If you do that as a reasonable person, then the state is also an entity, just like you as an entity. Looking at your assets that is not bringing you the rental income, what will you do? Until you get the money to renovate for it to earn the rent you want, would you leave it? If no, then let's be reasonable as citizens and expect what is happening as a meantime whilst you deliver a long-term.
Public Enterprises Minister Joseph Kudjo there. You're watching Business Live. Still to come, African pharmaceutical firms urge to push governments of their respective countries that are yet to ratify the African Continental Free Trade Agreement to do so.
Push for technology-based, patient-centered, and community-focused approaches that can meet the needs.
Welcome back to Business Live. African pharmaceutical firms have been urged to push governments of their respective countries that are yet to ratify the African Continental Free Trade Agreement to do so. A Deputy Trade and Industry Minister, Michael Tribefi, believes AfTA is a blessing to Africa, and therefore member countries must take advantage of that to trade and grow their economies. He spoke to Joy Business at the West Africa Pharma Healthcare Expo in Accra.
The West Africa Pharma Healthcare Expo brought together several pharmaceutical companies across the country. A Deputy Trade and Industry Minister, Michael Tribefi, urged Ghanaian investors to collaborate with their foreign counterparts, particularly India's, in the pharmaceutical manufacturing space to grow their business.
It's a real opportunity for Ghanaians in the business to have partnership, to do business together. And this will also enhance their business and expand their business so that they'll be able to even get to other territories, not only in Ghana, but other West African countries. And so, for me, they cannot get it wrong. They have to take advantage of this. And I also talking about the African Continental Free Trade Area. The African Continental Free Trade Area, I believe, has come as a blessing to Africa. And so Africans must do well to protect it and make sure that it works. It works for all of us. And that is why I was admonishing them, I mean, those in the pharmaceutical manufacturing business, to push their countries, their leaders, those who have not ratified the agreement to ratify, so that we will all collaborate and work together. I mean, to do business across Africa, duty-free, quota-free.
Chief Executive of the Association of Ghana Industries, Sechum Akwabua, urged its members to take full advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and expand rapidly.
Bear in mind that the AFCA has two sides of the coin. One side is the fact that you can have opportunities in other people's markets, so you can export to those markets, which is an opportunity for you. But the other side is that others are also going to penetrate and enter your market and compete very strongly with you. So it means that whether you like it or not, you are part of it. If you will not even export in your own market, they're going to compete very strongly with you because they are importing the goods into your market duty-free, quota-free. So for us, our advice we always give to our members is that be ready for it. Whether you are exporting or local, be ready for it. If it's local, be aware that the competition from Africa is going to be keener. And therefore, the way to really prepare yourself to take the opportunity is that you need to have very good governance systems, good upscale your investments, identify the right products, produce to the standards that can be that is good or can be met at everywhere in the world.
The 3-day program had several conferences. One of the conferences was on the theme Healthcare Industry in Africa and Access to Finance.
Former President John Mahama has charged indigenous healthcare company Pharma to help offer solutions to healthcare needs using technology. He is encouraging the company to scale up and offer healthcare with this community-based approach for free or at a subsidized cost to millions of people on the continent. He made this known when former Health Minister Alex Segwefia represented him virtually at the launch of Pharma's annual impact report at Senchi in the Eastern region. Kwame Yanka has more in this report.
Pharma is an indigenous business which took off in 2013 and currently has its footprint in 8 other African countries. The company believes helping in vendor management, inventory services, primary care solutions for community pharmacies, and data analytics will improve care. Representing John Mahama, former Health Minister Alex Segwefia says the availability of this solution in over 300 pharmacies is a testament to the competency of indigenous businesses.
We have to push for technology-based, patient-centered, and community-focused approaches that can meet the needs of patients irrespective of location or financial status. Increasing access to healthcare is not enough. We also need to increase affordability of drugs and health services. A critical missing link in our current setup is the lack of focus on wellness. Across our villages, towns, and cities, many only seek care when they are sick. Widespread economic hardship means that people cannot afford routine health checkups. This ought to stop.
Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Pharma, Gregory Roxon, says the company will invest about $100 million in the next few years.
Really, at Pharma, we start our day and end our day with really a simple question: how do we build an Africa in good health? And we believe that we can transform community pharmacies into the bedrock of a new health system on the continent. And so our view and our vision is that we will continue to make investments across the continent in community pharmacies and build them into primary healthcare centers so that each community on the continent will have access to a primary care health center. I mean, we've invested over $40 million in the infrastructure since we started. And over the next 3 years, our goal is to actually double that and invest about $100 million to really become the most comprehensive healthcare infrastructure on the continent.
Chief Product Officer and co-founder of Pharma, Daniel Shukumas, believes deployment of their software, Bloom, plays a crucial role in healthcare delivery.
See the network grow to over 200 facilities, and to see the software that we sit down to build every day being not only deployed in these pharmacies, but used to actually impact the lives of people every day and to even save lives is an immense joy for me and for the whole team. As we look into the future in the next 5 years or so, I expect to see even more of this, right? I expect to see more pharmacies, more deployments of Bloom, our pharmacy management software, in these facilities, with more engagement from everyone from the MCAs, the medical counter associates, to pharmacists, to doctors, nurses, all getting the data that they need to make real-time decisions and save lives using the tool.
Meanwhile, Senior Vice President, Strategy and Business Development, Nakuti, indicates that there are some restrictions affecting expansion.
Patients are at the center of everything we do. And so in as much as you hear us talk about the work we've done with governments, the work we've done with hospitals, the real goal is to get to patients. And so as we look at the next 3 or 5 years, my CEO mentioned that we're going to raise $100 million, right? Whether that is through equity or debt. Either way, the money that's coming in will come from investors who understand the need to scale the solution that we have built. We would love to be in 50 plus markets, but there are various regulations and restrictions that sometimes make it difficult, or at least slow down the process of expansion. That doesn't mean we will not expand, but it just means that sometimes the timeline to expansion can be a little longer than we would like it to be.
Pharma, with these solutions, wants to see an Africa that is good in health by increasing access to drugs for all patients at reduced costs and preserved quality.
Unilever Ghana has launched a new variant of Close-Up toothpaste named Close-Up Complete Fresh Protection. The product, according to manufacturers, offers 5 unique benefits to the consumer. These are deep cleaning, fresh breath, cavity protection, strong teeth, and protection from germs. Speaking at the launch, oral care category manager Daryl Kwawu disclosed that the product was developed according to increasing demand of consumers for toothpaste with herbs in them. Here's more. Over the years, consumers have gradually shifted from purchasing fluoride toothpaste to those that contain herbs or charcoal. It is for this reason Unilever Ghana made a new addition to the family of Close-Up variants, Close-Up Complete Fresh Protection. Here's oral care category manager for Unilever Ghana, Daryl Kwawu.
It's our newest baby as far as our oral range is concerned, and it is an innovation based on consumer insight, listening to our cherished consumers based on trends, and realizing that the passion and love for herbal or natural ingredients is growing. And so we've come with this innovation, which is offering 5 benefits. The 5 benefits of this launch is primarily a toothpaste that offers us deep cleaning, fresh breath, cavity protection, fights germs, and above all, is able to make our teeth stronger.
This new toothpaste is a fluoride gel made with an active herbal ingredient known as eucalyptus mint, which prevents cavities and freshens breath. Mr. Kwawu believes this new variant will not outshine the other Close-Up products, but says his outfit will continue to invest in ensuring that Close-Up Complete Fresh Protection is accepted by Ghanaians.
Purchasing other types of Close-Up that we have on the market is in itself not bad. So we would advocate all Ghanaians to continuously patronize our ranges. How do we intend to penetrate the Ghanaian market? We've done it with our cherished stakeholders, which is our traders, influencers, the media, as we are doing today. And so those are the leverage we will still adopt. And we will be in all convenience shops. Every shop nearby, please, when you walk there, you would find this new innovation. It would also be in modern trade, which is normally known in our local languages like the ShopRite, the Games, the Malcolm, and the large or small supermarkets. So what we are saying is that at any touch point that you would want to buy this product, it will be accessible for you. We are running a lot of promotional schemes where you would get it for about 70% of it. Its ongoing price is 8 cedis 50 pesos.
Consumers were entreated to sample the new product and also look out for the new variant in supermarkets and nearby shops. The board chairman of the Hydro Cooperative Credit Union, Joseph Asari Kiteku, has assured members of the cooperative it would continue to put in prudent policies to protect investments and savings. He said the cooperative union has been resilient amid the COVID-19 pandemic and the banking sector cleanup. Mr. Kiteku was speaking at the commissioning of the Hydro Cooperative Credit Union NEDCO Tamale Agency. Martina Bugri has more.
The Hydro Cooperative Credit Union, established over 50 years ago, was initially set up to offer services to workers in the country's energy-producing institutions. But with time, they have grown leap and bounds, serving outsiders with branches. Currently, the union is the second out of the 546 credit unions in Ghana. Speaking at the commissioning of the NEDCO Tamale Agency of the union, the board chairman, Joseph Asari Kiteku, outlined achievements they have chalked since the new board took over.
The Hydro Cooperative Credit Union has been on its feet and continue to operate over the past 50 years now. This is due to competent and dedicated leadership who have made prudent decisions over the period with the help of members to bring us this far. Here we are to celebrate yet another achievement. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is important to put on record some of the achievements of the current board to give assurance to our cherished members that the safety and soundness of the Hydro Cooperative Credit Union is guaranteed. For the first time in the history of the Hydro Cooperative Credit Union, the board declared an ensured payment of 40% dividend on the net surplus of 7.7 million Ghana cedis.
The general manager of the Hydro Cooperative Credit Union, Joseph Gatti, urged members to take advantage of the dividend they make when they buy shares.
You have people who are making dividend as high as 10,000, even 15,000, 5,000, 4,000. What that means is that the higher shares you have, share capital you have, the higher dividend you will get. And then the issue also about the savings. Member talked about, okay, I need to get some savings before I can access loan. I did explain yesterday in Teshima that I want our members, for us to have a target, that by the time I'm getting to my retirement age, I should be able to have this level of savings in my account. So you look at the savings as a product on its own, and look at the loan also separate. That maybe I should have a target that by the time I'm retiring, I should have about 70, 80,000 Ghana cedis savings in my account. And then the issue about the loan, most of the time when we come around, one of the things that motivates me most is that members show me pictures of building projects that they have done. I'll be able to educate my children to the university level. It's one of the things that motivates me to do more what I do. So one of the benefits of the credit union, it's because you have access to credit and you have ability to repay. You take advantage now.
Well, speak of savings and investments, next up we bring you a money tip on Money Lab.
Good day to you and welcome to the Money Lab. Today we'll look at what wealth management is. Wealth management is an investment advisory service that combines other financial services to address the needs of high net worth clients. Often, a holistic approach is taken within wealth management that is done to meet the complex needs of clients, and at Republic Investments offers wealth management services.
And that's our program tonight. Thanks for watching. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwawu. Enjoy the rest of the holiday.